Howdy everyone, waiting for Instagram to get logged up here, and here we go. Okay. So, wherever you're watching from, welcome. As I often say, most people are going to hear this and not do anything. They're going to click off or they're not going to change. It is my hope that that will not be you. The purpose of this live stream is to provide you with a key concept from one of the best self-improvement books in the world, which is The How, and then also provide you, or sorry, that's the what, and then also provide you with the how, or an actionable way that you can apply the habit or apply the key concept in a habit that works, that sticks, and that helps you to grow and become someone better. Now, here's a little bit of truth, okay? I'm not a millionaire. I'm not an influencer on social media flexing Lambos or anything. But I am someone who has dedicated the last 7 years to studying and implementing change. I've been able to overcome 5 addictions, repair broken family relationships, identify and strengthen my conviction in my faith, and do all of that while also staying out of debt. So essentially, I've been able to transform every area of my life so far. I also lost 20 pounds and got a 6-pack, but so my purpose is to use this bedrock of knowledge that I have to help you to move beyond just knowing what to change and also figuring out how to change it. Because that's the key, right? You can go on and on about what to change, but until you have that specific how, that specific action item, you're still going to be at a loss. So in this live stream, each week we go over a new self-improvement book. Today is actually the last day for this week on the book that we're covering, which is the 10X Rule. See if you can see that there. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Pretty great book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. He's got a lot of good key concepts, key lessons in there. Highly recommend. We've got a link on my bio and Instagram if you want to check it out and buy it. That would also help out the live stream. But yeah, so we're on our 6th key concept from the 10X Rule. And let's just hop right into it. So today's takeaway is about embracing challenges by intentionally cultivating positivity through gratitude. Recognize that challenges are simply opportunities staged as adversity, or as the late entrepreneur Henry Kaiser liked to say, opportunities disguised in work clothes. And Grant Cardone has a couple paragraphs in the book here that I'd like to read. If you're following along, it's on we're going to start over on page 162, and then we'll hop over to page 174 as well. There's a couple different sections that I think are important to build this point out. So in this chapter, Grant is talking about a few different areas in challenges that let's see. Sorry, I'm getting caught up here on the comments. But yeah, so he's got about 32 different things that set successful people apart from others, in his opinion. That's kind of the last chapter, the last big chapter of the book is what makes people either successful or unsuccessful. And he's got two different sections in here that I want to read. The first one is called Love Challenges. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. So he says, whereas many people loathe challenges and use them as reasons to sink further into indifference, highly successful individuals are compelled and invigorated by challenges. And so for our purpose of self-improvement here, whenever Grant is talking about success or being successful, I would say change that word to change itself. So highly changed individuals are compelled and invigorated by challenges. Oh, appreciate it, brother. And then, so we continue. The idea of being overwhelmed, I believe, is the result of never taking enough action to generate enough winning. Success begets more success, or change begets more change. And losses increase your chances of more losses. Challenges are the experiences that sharpen successful people's abilities. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Challenges are the experiences that sharpen successful people's abilities. To achieve your goals, you have to get to a place where every challenge becomes fuel for you. Life can be quite brutal, and people can incur a fair amount of losses over time. Many get to a point where every new challenge they face automatically equals a loss in their mind. There are ways to rehabilitate yourself, however, so that the hardships you've experienced throughout your life no longer rob you of the chance to approach new challenges with gusto and excitement. I have a quote down here that I just like, kind of a takeaway that I wrote that says, "What is change but a challenge?" Getting a lot of handsome comments here. Appreciate it, y'all. It's just genetics. I just work here. Grant continues. He says, when you are able to develop a more positive outlook, you begin to see a challenge as stimulation to engage, rather than as an excuse to avoid something. You have to re-educate yourself on the notion of this thing called a challenge, and know that every challenge provides an opportunity to win. And don't kid yourself. Winning in life is vital. Every minute of every day, your mind is automatically keeping a running tab on your wins, losses, and ties. And that's totally true. And I would say even if you think you're not, you are. And doing so is based on what you know to be your full potential. The more you win in life, the higher your potential will be, and the more you will grow to love challenges. Hey, thanks, Ed. I'm reading The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. It's a great book. If you hop over, give me a follow on Instagram at AskMaxBaldoff. I've got a link for it there in my highlights from my stories. So my takeaway from that part is just, what is change but a challenge? And we need to reframe our mindset surrounding change so that we look at it, surrounding challenges, so that we look at a challenge as an opportunity to change. And we're going to talk about how to do that in a little bit. Let's hop over to page 174, though, just to cover another aspect of this. So, number 17, this is on page 174, says, embrace change. Successful people love change, whereas the unsuccessful do everything they can to keep things from changing. But how can you create success, or in our case, change, when you are trying to keep things from becoming any different? It is impossible. Although you never want to alter the things that are working, you should always look for ways to improve what you're doing. Thanks, Pokemon Edits. The successful keep an eye out for what is coming next. They seek out potential, upcoming market transformations, and embrace them instead of rejecting them. This is a side note, but I see this a ton with AI. A ton of people are scared of AI and trying to reject AI because of the market transformation that it's already causing and will continue to cause. And so instead of embracing them and using AI to their advantage like they should, they just reject it. And it's going to hurt them if they don't switch. This is a little side tangent, but I was watching this video with it's the Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, who was with the ex Google CEO, and the Google CEO said, if you're not already using AI or integrating AI in every aspect of your business, you're falling behind. And I was like, oh shoot, better get on that. So ever since then, my world has been opened. AI is incredible. It's great. Okay, where did I leave off here? The successful or the changed look at how the world is shifting and apply this to how they might improve their operations and grow their advantage. They never subsist on yesterday's successes. They know that they must continue to adapt or they won't remain victorious. Change is not something to resist, it's something that should keep you excited. Apple's Steve Jobs is a great example of this. He changes his products before a competitor can catch up or his consumers can get bored with them. The willingness to accept change is a great quality of the successful. So I think this is super, super interesting. And yeah, so the takeaway there is that challenges are simply opportunities dressed as adversity. Henry Kaiser has a good quote that I'll repeat here, but that challenges are just opportunities dressed in work clothes. So let's see. Developing a habit that gives you a positive outlook, such as daily gratitude, is what's going to help us do this. And we'll talk a little bit more about how you can apply that later on. But first, I want to talk about why people don't apply this mindset, why they still are viewing challenges as a problem to be had instead of an opportunity to grow. There's a couple reasons. So first is that they naturally resist discomfort and they view change or adversity as a threat rather than an opportunity to grow, kind of like we talked about. A lot of people at times can possess limited optimism, believing that their growth should be or feel comfortable and predictable. No offense to anyone who feels that way, but there's no growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone. That's just a fact of life. I'm sorry. It just is. And then another reason is that they misunderstand challenges as negatives instead of gateways to improvement. And if you resonate with any of those, drop a comment down in the chat there. I get that. I've been there. I felt a lot of that when I was overcoming 5 different addictions, but unless you get out of that, you're going to be stuck in that loop and you're not going to be able to change or improve in the way that you want to. We need to reframe that mindset so that you're viewing challenges in an optimistic way and viewing them as opportunities rather than just like problems or roadblocks. So let's go ahead here. I have kind of a story to illustrate this. So this story is kind of the inverse principle. There's a guy named Edwin Land. He's the founder of Polaroid. He's Steve Jobs' idol. And he has, I think, like the third most patents of anyone in the US, like ever, like 300 something. Super, super smart guy. But so when he founded and was running Polaroid, he would never make a product that someone else has already made, because and it's kind of the inverse of this idea. I'll just read it here again so I don't misquote it on page 174. Is that change is not something to resist, it's something that should keep you excited. And Steve Jobs changes his products before a competitor can catch up, right? And so Edwin Land's motto was that Polaroid was not going to make anything that someone else had already made. And so one time what happened was that Polaroid had spent millions and millions of dollars in like I think 2 or 3 years of development working on creating a copier machine essentially, and then Xerox came out with a copying machine before they did, and Edwin Land scrapped the whole project. He said, "Okay, well, we're not doing that anymore. Someone else already did it. Move on. Let's go to the next thing." And it shows that the example is kind of the inverse, right? But it shows that change is not something to resist. It's not something that we should view as an adversity or as a problem, but something that we should view as an opportunity and as a gateway for growth to become better. So, super, super interesting example there. Edwin Land, if you haven't studied him, he's a fascinating person. I highly recommend the Founders Podcast by David Senra if you want to check out any of history's most successful entrepreneurs. He does a great job of reading their biographies and autobiographies and summarizing those life lessons that we can learn there. Super cool. Okay, so whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I'm not streaming on Snapchat, LinkedIn, that's the other place. Anywhere there, glad you're here. Comment if you've taken anything away from what we've been talking about so far. What are your key takeaways so far? If anything has maybe punched you in the gut, something's coming up and hitting you hard as something that you need to change. If it hasn't, either I'm not explaining it very well, or maybe you're just not ready for the truth, and either one of those are okay. So with that being said, I want to jump into how we're going to specifically fix this mindset and correct this idea that challenges are problems rather than gateways for growth. Because the fact is that challenges are not problems, they are gateways for growth. And if you're viewing them as a negative, you should be viewing them as a positive. So when we talk about how, we talk about setting up a specific habit that we can build. And I go over this all the time. But the way psychologically that you can build a habit that is going to work best for you. Got someone here who said they're entering midway. We're reading the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. It's the best. Actually, I shouldn't say it's the best. It's a great self-improvement book that we're talking about here. And what we're going over right now is how you can build a habit specifically that will help change your mindset and reframe your train of thought, so that you can see challenges as an opportunity and as a gateway for growth rather than a problem or a negative thing. So, no, I have never been bald, luckily. we'll see whether that happens or not. But when we build habits, they have three different parts. Okay, so you have a what, a when, and a where, and you need to make sure that those parts are so specific that you can visualize yourself completing them like you're watching a movie in your head. So for example, if you're gonna build a habit, like let's say you want to get better at reading, and you want to just read, right? Get better at reading or read good books that you've got. You can do that by using this framework, to set up that habit. So like let's say the what is to read 30 minutes a day, the when is between 7 and 7:30, and the where would be sitting in your living room in your favorite rocking chair with the light on, or like something like that, where it really is so specific that you can picture that scene. It helps to build the neural connection, and helps you to figure out and like remember specifically when that time comes around, like, oh, here's this habit that I'm trying to build, here's what I'm going to do for it. So for this instance specifically, in helping to change and reframe your mindset and helping you to view challenges and change as gateways for growth rather than problems or as a negative thing there. So the what is that you're going to get a journal and write down three things that you're genuinely grateful for that specifically relate to a current challenge or struggle that you're facing. So for example, maybe you've got money problems or something, and you're saying, okay, what are three things that I am grateful for because I have this money problem struggle? For example, maybe that could be, well, it's giving me more incentive to go out and learn new skills so I can better myself and make more money. Or it's helping me to grow closer with my significant other, because we're having to work harder together to build this life that we want together and improve on our current financial situation. Whatever that looks like for you is fine. Just identify three of those areas and write them down in your journal as the what. So the when is going to be each night immediately after finishing dinner. And the where would then be at your dining table, and you keep that gratitude journal visibly nearby. So maybe like after you finish dinner, at whatever time you're finishing dinner, you sit down, you go grab your journal from the countertop or something, and then you sit down at the dining room table and you write those three things down that you're grateful for, about the struggles, the things that you're grateful for because of the struggle that you're in and the challenges that you have, or challenges that you have in that struggle. And I know that I've actually personally practiced being grateful for every day now for over 3 years, and it's been super, super helpful in building resilience in my life and helping me to be able to get back up when life knocks me down, maintain a positive outlook despite life being in the effort of knocking me down, and just getting real better. That's not a word. Getting better faster, getting up faster when I'm getting knocked down. So the key here with actually building these habits is don't think too hard about it. Don't overanalyze it. Just go and do it. Just say, okay, here's how this is going to work for me. Give yourself the what, the when, and the where. And then just go do it. Just go start. Make it super small, super simple. Even if you hear that and you say, well, three things is too much for me with the struggle that I've got, just write one. That's fine. Adapt the framework to you, and just make sure that it's something that you feel 100% confident in your ability to achieve. That's the key there. Okay. And then when you do that consistently over time, your change compounds, effort compounds. So it'll help set your mindset from resistance when it comes to challenges to resilience. And if you're following me anywhere, shoot me a comment, shoot me a DM once you've done that. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Try that out for a couple weeks. Before we wrap up here, I just want to let everyone know. So I built a self-improvement school online, just helping, frankly, freaks like me who can't stop chasing personal development, who can't stop chasing change. And just I built that as a community, a place where people can go. I've uploaded all of these live streams for all of the different books that I've done there. And so far, actually, this is the first one, the 10X Rule. Next week, we're going to be going over, where is it? Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, which if you haven't read this book, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's a must read for everyone. I will put a affiliate link over on my Instagram page for that as well. If you want to go hop over there, buy that and support the live stream, that would be great. I'll put that out just in a couple minutes. And it's just absolutely phenomenal book on negotiation. Chris Voss is the FBI's, or he was the FBI's lead hostage negotiator for 20 years, and he has some really good stories, super well written book, and tons of super actionable takeaways for us that we can apply as habits in order to get better in our conversations and just get better. Better at listening is a huge part of that book as well. So super excited to hop into that. The link to join the Self-Improvement That Sticks School is also in my bio. Go ahead, check this. Normally, once we hit 500 members, it's going to be $19 a month, but right now for founding members, it's just $9. So hop over there, get in, and 10% of that, of every dollar that you spend for your membership is actually going to go into a fund. So we run member exclusive humanitarian trips. If you're serious about changing and about personal growth and you want a place where you can be held accountable to that by people who are in that same boat, now you know where it is. The link's in my bio. I'll throw a QR code here too. Just know, there's no middle ground in life. You're either changing or you're not. What do you want? What do you want? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to become? The only way to become something more or someone more than you are now is to change. So if you're not in a place where that's happening, or happening as much as you would like, then join up and get in the right place, get in the right mindset, and get surrounded by people who want the same. I'll give you my sign off, which is keep the change and keep changing, and we will see you on Monday.